Welcome back, racers, to another video on Gran Turismo Sport, the staple of the channel. And this is from a race C not so long ago, and we're starting in 18th, and we're just going to see how far we can climb in this race. Now, this race was pulled from one of the races I did in my live stream, so if you do want to catch me live, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so you can actually catch me live when I do these races live with my face, in person, interactive. It's fantastic. But anyway, less about that, more about the race. Obviously, starting in 18th, I think in the live stream as well, someone's like, finish top 5 and I'll give you $10 or something like that. So I kind of really wanted to race really well, and we do. But will we finish in that top 5 position? You will have to wait and find out as the race unfolds. So a little bit about the race then, a mixture of cars, but it seems like the Nissan was one of the strongest cars, but it's also one of the most difficult to control, especially when coming up through this mountainous section. Really gets sketchy coming out of this tight left-hander, getting on the power, gets a little bit wiggly, then coming over this crest to the right, it gets light and wants to spin around, and it kind of understeers through this fast section at the top of the mountain. But anyway, already making up one position then, as I think the Austrian made a mistake coming out of the tight section at the bottom of the mountain, and we're firmly in the suck of the Frenchman in front of us, also in that Nissan, so getting past him might be a little bit of a challenge, as we are in the same car basically. So we have the same car, so it's you know what I mean, it's difficult to pass the same car. Okay, get off my back. Anyway, coming into the tight left-hand corner here, which I always struggle with, you've got to get on the power as soon as possible and try not to hit that wall out on the right. And now it becomes a slipstream battle down the back straight into the heavy braking zone at the end of it. Now, there is an issue here, an incident, as someone does get spanked off over onto the right there, onto the grass, and someone does receive a 7-second penalty up ahead of us. So we are going to look at that. It seems like the Italian driver here serving a 2-second penalty. Fine, off the racing line, perfect, but then still ghosted, moves over onto the racing line, which just shouldn't be done. There's contact with a British driver, they go off, and he gets a 7-second penalty. Actually, the penalty system worked for once. It actually worked, so, you know, well done, penalty system. 7-second penalty, perfectly executed. Anyway, he just murders himself as he obviously loses his hair. The French guy gets a little bit wiggly on the exit there, and we just managed to miss a rejoining Italian. Ooh, a little bit of action, but up into 14th place at the end of lap 1. Not too bad, as there you go, another Frenchman kills himself in the 4GT. Gonna go nice and aggressive, sends it up the inside, switching down to second, nice and easy on that accelerator on the way out, and we can accelerate away from that Ford. So jumping forward a lap and a half then onto the back straight once again, and we are in the slipstream of the Aston Martin driven by the Italian driver in front. This just goes to show how powerful the slipstream really is in this game, and we hear it all the time if you do pay attention to Twitter or just people moaning about it, is that it is too strong and it's too effective from far back. Anyway, later on the brakes, meeting the apex nicely on the power. Beautiful move there up the inside of the Italian, and we set our sights on the Finnish driver in, I believe, the Corvette in front of us. Nothing happens over that next lap, but we do have a little bit of an incident here, and I am in the wrong. I just go to the inside. I didn't think he was going to be as slow as he was going. He's obviously just been off, and he's just got dirty tyres, and there is contact, and he goes off. We should have had a penalty there. There was contact from us onto him, and he went off the track. We should have got a penalty, but we don't, because the penalty system is messed up, and we have to carry on with the race. So what I should have done is I should have waited. I should have been able to see that he was going slower and then attack the corner differently. Anyway, there's some sort of incident as one person is spun around facing the other way, and someone has a penalty in front of us that they are going to serve on the first straight coming out of the first corner. So starting lap number 7, 3 laps to go, we are in 9th place, soon to be 8th place, as we sweep past the person who's just served the penalty, firmly in the slipstream of the Finnish driver, and we do catch him up over the remainder of this lap. And it is here that we are now setting ourselves up for the most almightiest of sends ever in Gran Turismo Sport. Now, Little disclaimer, I didn't actually mean to do this initially. I wasn't planning on sending it up both of them. It just happened. It was sort of a reaction move. What I wanted to do was just to stay behind them because they both move over to the left to fight for the position. So I move over to the right, I find my braking position, but in order not to kill them, I had to send it up the inside. And I think it was a really freaking good move, but obviously it's down for interpretation and discussion. So we'll look at it again in slow motion so we can try and pick apart what kind of happened and what went on basically. So I brake. I didn't want to go into the back of them, so I moved to the inside and I hit the apex perfectly. I'm not going to go any further, so I'm not going to like take him out like a freaking bowling ball, but there is a slight bit of contact, which is where the argument lies. But also you could say that he is actually turning in on me and not giving me the space that I have on the inside. The second piece is about me not giving him the space on the outside of the corner here. Now, the unwritten rule is you must give space at all times everywhere on the track. It's a non-contact sport, and if he chose to turn back in, and if he could turn back onto the track right now, which he can't because of the trajectory that his car bounced off of me, then there isn't that space for him to come back on, and that shouldn't be the case. I should have allowed him to have the opportunity to come back on if he could. Unfortunately, he couldn't because that's the way his car was moving. But there we go. Those are the couple of things that I think should be taken into consideration when asking the question, was that a good move? Was that a solid move? And we dodged the other British driver there as he rejoins the track and we go under him and we're up to 6th place. And this is where we're going to finish. Unfortunately, we couldn't catch the French drivers in front of us. They were just too fast. So we couldn't actually get that top 5 position that we were fighting so hard for. But anyway, this is what is beautiful about YouTube, that I get to understand and communicate with you guys about what you think about these incidents as we round out the final moments of this race. So what I would like you to do is to use the card in the top right hand corner of the screen to vote whether it was an amazing send worthy of the gods or whether it was just aggressive and I should have got a penalty for nudging or making contact with the Finnish driver, which ended up with him going off the track. Let me know with that card in the corner. So just click it and there's going to be 2 options you can choose from. Also, let me know in the comments section below. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know what you think about it. And that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, liking and subscribing. I hope you enjoyed this one. A massive thank you to the channel members for doing what you do, of course. And we'll see you in the next one.